Hey, yo, what's good, everybody? It's Jack and Shaq's pregnancy test.
Results in 2 minutes, baby. Bang, bang.
Hey, nice. We love that. We love that. Today we're going to talk about the first Boomers game. One of them, probably, this is going to sound bad or weird, but like one of the most boring games. Boring first halves I've ever watched.
Yeah, I didn't see the first
There was
half.
40. That was the most turnover-ridden game I've actually ever seen, ever in my life. 45 turnovers in total. And yeah, pretty. Not. Well, I think they were a bit rusty, but like they've had exhibition games and stuff, so I don't really know how you can be rusty.
It could be like anyways,
Paddy
the
Mills
official thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I've got a quick shout out for the day. I don't know if you've got one, Lockie. You can come up and come on quickly.
I forgot a name. Maddie was just telling me about it, and I saw the video. One of our Olympians.
Yeah.
And she said, "Fuck yeah" into the mic.
Yeah, that was good.
Shout out, hey.
Yeah, I'm gonna shout out Arnie Titmus's trainer or
Hey,
coach,
oh my
who was
God.
going crazy on the side. Literally became a worldwide meme in like the matter of minutes. So shout out to him. I don't actually know, dude. It was literally like some shit out of WWE, like when they go crazy on the ropes. Like I've seen that shit before. But yeah, congrats to both Titmus and I think her name's McEwen.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that was the name. Yeah.
But yeah, very, very impressive. Yeah. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Paddy Mills lighting it up late, like in the second half. Like I said, very boring first half for me personally. Like I didn't think it was that enjoyable. Kangaroo Kobe, Dante Exum, decent, poor shooting game, but like his defense was there. He's a very defensive minded guard. They call him Kangaroo Kobe. I don't know why.
Yeah, because he's tall somewhat, and I don't know, long. He's I really like his game because he pushes it all the time. Like he's always gonna drive in, but like he had like 5 turnovers. Like he's that type of player. He's like a lot of usage, but you can get so much out of him because he just brings a lot of energy.
Yeah, I think I've always I know he's injury prone, and he's been injury prone since the start of his career. But I still really like watching him play.
Yeah,
I think he's just a go. Like he's just a goer. Like he goes and gets it. He's a bit like you. How you play in real life. Like he's just always pushing and like trying to look for the best opportunity. Always bringing energy on D.
Hey,
very inconsistent shooter.
Damn, all right.
But he's got one of the best 2K jumpers in history, so give him credit.
Yeah, that's what he's most known for.
Nick K. Really solid performance, 12 and 8. Like he's just like he's a solid big man.
He's very versatile.
He's a good backup for Bainesy. Bainesy, he's been a bit quiet during the exhibitions, and especially the first game, 4 points, 5 rebounds. But he only played 15 minutes. He didn't really get much court time. I think they're trying to use Jock Landale a bit more because he's a bit more of a versatile big. He can guard
more athletic as well.
Yeah, he's more athletic. He's obviously younger, so I think they just have Baines on to start, and Landale's still starting. But I think he just provides a bit more versatility. Same with Nick Kay, who can stretch the floor. And my favorite player to watch on the team is Matisse Thybulle. Like I don't like. Is there just something about him? There's something about him. He had 5 steals last night,
ridiculous,
or whatever, on Sunday night.
He has such a IQ for the game, and he's so composed. I remember hearing him in a vlog. I watched all his vlogs the other day.
Yeah, his vlogs are dope, man.
He doesn't get nervous in front of like 20,000 people.
Yeah,
but like he'll get like nervous in front of an interview. Like, but that's like the type of player he is. He's so composed.
Yeah.
He's
well, I think because with him, he's like got a role and he just sticks to it.
Yeah.
He can move the ball around. He's the best shot blocking guard in the league.
Yeah.
And he's one of the best young defensive players in the league. He can shoot the ball, but he doesn't like overdo it. Like he's not just going to like go out and shoot 12 shots. He shoots when he's open. He's got some space. He shot 36 on Sunday night.
He had a couple of assists as well. Like he'll pass.
A couple of assists. Yeah, like he does a bit of everything. And I think learning from Joe Ingles would help too, because Joe Ingles is sort of similar, but he's less athletic but more. He's more of a playmaker. So I think adding a bit of playmaking to Matisse Thybulle game. He's not a great scorer. Like he's not a scorer, but he doesn't need to be.
No,
so, exactly. Like just being able to shoot a three can do the thing that Ben Simmons can't.
Oh yeah,
I'm fine with not having Ben Simmons on this team. Like
I was going to ask you about that, but I kind of think they need him. I feel like he is missed because they don't have a dominant playmaker on the roster. That's the only thing I would say. Someone who can who can just push it a bit more and who can get to anywhere on the floor. But I see where people say they don't need him.
I think there's two things that he brings, and that's effective culture, like being able to affect the culture of Australian basketball. Like Ben Simmons, I'm not saying he's a superstar, but he's a star. He's a young star. He's honestly he's probably our best. And to not have him there is it's hard. It's a culture shock not having him there. And I think it also he's a star to have on your team, so that obviously brings attention from opposing defenses, and it gives players like Patty Mills, Nick Kay, Delly, Exum, Bain, like that whole squad can just shine around him. And I think Ben Simmons needed to play the Olympics.
I'm really disappointed in him.
He needed to play because he's got people hating on him, and it would have been the perfect storm for him to just come to the Olympics and tear shit up. Everyone would be like, oh, he can't do it in the NBA. But still being able to prove to people that you can be dominant in the sport. I just think he would have shut a lot of people up. And apparently he hasn't contacted the Sixers since the end of the season.
Really?
I've read that just before. They've been trying to contact him, and he's not staying in contact with them.
Oh my God.
They've got a decent team for a team that you'd think wouldn't have anyone.
Yeah.
Like Precious Chichiwa, I found this out. His brother's name is God's Gift.
What?
So you got God's Gift and you got Precious. That is the most weird. That is just some weird shit.
They was smoking something when they
100%. 100%. Yeah. Gabe Vincent of the Miami Heat.
He's solid.
He had an off game, and he only made one shot. He had one of 7 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3. But even when Tyler Hero and Jimmy were all out last season, he actually showed up. He actually had some solid games.
Josh
and
Okogie.
Josh Okogie as well. They've got Jaleel Okafor, who is quiet, but they've got a decent team. That Jordan Nwora guy that plays for the Bucks, he kind of had a good stretch of offense. He only had 10 points, but I think he had a stretch where he made 3 shots in a row. And I was watching it with Dad, and he was like, "Who's this bloke?" And I was like, "He's just some rookie he was the best shooter in college last season."
Efficiency wise?
Yeah, number 1 3-point shooting percentage or something.
Yeah.
That's a guy to look out for, because I feel like a guy that can shoot is just valuable to anyone, really.
They're way better than I thought.
Yeah, but I don't know, maybe it was I think the turnovers just made the game close. There was not many differences between turnovers, three turnover difference. And they just shot poor from the field, 40% respectively, both of them. Australia just shot 46% from 3 compared to Nigeria's 29. So, I mean, it was a tight game because of the turnovers. And when a team is constantly turning the ball over, it just ruins rhythm. So, obviously, that shooting percentage isn't a surprise to me. I think it was a decent start to the Olympics, but Australia know that they can be so much better. Everyone knows they can be so much better. Paddy Mills is really leading this team coming in, but I think a few pieces need to step up. Jock Landale, 4 points, and I think he can just do way better. He played so good in the FIBA championships in 19. And yeah, I just feel like he's got some experience under his belt now. I just feel like he can impact the game in so many different ways. He's really their I feel like he's their X factor.
As like an athletic big.
Yeah, and like he can stretch the floor. I feel like he can do a bit of everything really well. And I think that's just, if he has a big game, I feel like they'll have a good run. Will they win gold? I think it's too early to tell.
Way too early. But
if you ask me at the end of the pool, if they beat Italy and
Germany,
I think they can. They have a good case, but like I feel like the US will pull it together, and that's what we're going to get onto now. Evan Fournier said after the game they've got a lot of individual talent, but they can't work together or something like that.
That perfectly sums it up, honestly.
It literally sums it up. They're some of the best players in the league, but they've never played together. Yeah. It's just why you got to stick with what you know. Like, this France team has been together for years. Yeah. For years. Like, I think there's only a few additions. But the core of Fournier, Batum, Gobert, 3 veterans, but it's been the core for the past however long. Yeah. And Evan Fournier doing what he does best, scoring 28 points. And like Durant and Dame kind of just, one of the worst. Well, they did, like, compare these shots attempts to NBA. Dame Lillard 10 shots, Durant 12 shots. Compared to the rest of the team who didn't even shoot 10 shots besides Drew Holiday, who we know likes to score the shoot. Yeah,
he likes to shoot a bit.
Shitty game. But yeah, like shooting. To shoot that little amount of shots and not to be efficient is like, it's not a worrying sign, but I feel like we all know that they can be better. And I don't know who they're versing next game. We'll obviously cover that, but I feel like they're just going to come out, just absolutely tear ass. Like, yeah.
Like, they're not, I guess, at cause for concern. Well, I feel like they're at cause for concern, but it's not like everything's thrown out the window. Like, they still have some of the best players in the world playing. Yeah. But it's just a lot of volume shooters playing in the same team.
Literally, yeah. That's what I reckon as well. It's a lot of volume shooters that need the ball. Yeah. Let's just look through the starting lineup alone. Levine, Dame, KD, Adebayo, and Draymond. Those 3 guards are literally all they need the ball.
20 shots, like
literally. Yeah. You look at the bench: Tatum, Middleton, Booker, Holiday. That's 4 primary shot takers for their team. Well, not Drew Holiday, but anyways, like that's all those guys on their team. All the scorers on that team are all the primary options on their NBA team. So like having to be able to take a switch to Olympic basketball and have to be able to share the rock around and not take as many shots. You can't get into a rhythm because you're not taking as many. Yeah. I think that's the only tough thing. And I feel like this isn't a hit on Coach Pop, but I don't think he's ever had that much star power to be able to deal with.
Well, he even said it's so hard to integrate everyone. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like,
he got settled somewhat, and then Middleton, Drew, and Booker came as well. Like, that's adding to the chaos. Like it's not easy.
Yeah, exactly. And this brings us to like an idea that Lockie actually had. You want to explain that?
Oh yeah, I actually was going to say we're going to look at some lineups in the next episode of what we would actually pick instead of what Team USA has put forward. And this would probably be more varied group, not just a bunch of first options on a team. It would be a mixture of some role players and obviously some star players. But yeah, looking at having a more varied team going into the Olympics than just a bunch of the best players.
That's it for that. We've had some technical difficulties with internet. That's just what you're going to come against when you try and do Zoom calls during lockdown. But other than that, we're going to be that's this episode. This is the Boomers and USA recap of the Olympics. We're really just going to be doing USA and the USA and Australia, mainly because they're the only games we actually watch. And you guys are mostly not gonna. I don't know. They're the two games. They're the two teams that we are actually looking at. Like we're not going to look at like Spain or like any of that. Yeah. But yeah.
And we're just going to continue to cover just USA and Australia. That's all. That's all anyone really cares about. For anyone who watches. But yeah.
So yeah, tomorrow we're going to be picking the most optimal and ideal Team USA in our opinions. So we're probably going to be wrong compared to a lot of other people, but and then on Thursday is going to be it's going to be an exciting video. We're going to be looking at trade rumors that have been circling the off season so far. I've written down a list of potential trades and rumors that could be happening. I saw one today, which actually sounds like amazing. Miles Turner to the Lakers. So we're going to talk about that because that would be like the perfect like you think of perfect centers in the NBA to pair with certain players.
He needs to be used.
Miles Turner is a 3-point shooter and an elite shot blocker. Averaged 3 blocks a game. Anyways, that's going to be in the Thursday's episode.
Yeah.
But other than that, I've got nothing else to say. Very excited. This is I say this every episode, but the support's been unreal so far. Obviously we're not getting much traction with in terms of like people watching it, but still honestly, this is just fun to do.
Yeah.
The passion project for both of us. We're really happy with how it's going so far and we actually love doing it. We actually met up yesterday for a basketball session for the first time in weeks. It felt like ages, very rusty. Lockie was actually shooting good for once.
Give me that, baby.
And I wasn't.
Thanks everyone for watching along the way so far. We really appreciate it. This is Against the Passion project. We're loving what we're doing. Stay tuned.
Yeah. All right. Love it. We're going to love you and leave you.
Man.
All right. Thanks guys. Appreciate it. We out.